everyone, this is Karen.
Welcome back, everybody. I am Shane.
Today we're looking at part 2 of Does Chatting on the Phone
Give You the Chills?
And the vocabulary words are eliminate.
Eliminate.
Doctors hope that they can eliminate the disease in the near future.
Predict.
Predict.
Lawrence predicted that his favorite team would win the basketball game.
Devise.
Devise.
Scientists have devised a new method to recycle plastic.
Remind.
Remind.
Leslie reminded her sister that she has soccer practice in the afternoon.
Aware.
Aware.
I was not aware that you have a twin brother.
Yes, he's my evil twin. I'm the nice one.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, well, is he scared about chatting on the phone?
No, he's not scared of anything.
Really? So he doesn't have telephobia?
Definitely does not have telephobia. He loves talking on the phone.
Really?
Yes, and so do I. Wait, let's just talk about me, not him. But yeah, okay. I don't mind. But actually, I do prefer, for example, if somebody calls me,
yes.
I actually don't usually pick up the phone. I want to see who it is first, because I'm afraid they might want to ask me something or ask me to do something, and I want some time to think about it.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's really a fear or even a phobia. Definitely not a phobia. So what are some other things? That's what I do. I'll sometimes not take the call directly, but what else can you do?
Well, for some people who do have telephobia, they feel so scared or nervous about talking to someone on the phone, you can start by smiling when you're talking on the phone.
Oh.
That kind of takes your stress away.
I heard that.
You know, when you're fake smiling.
Yeah, I heard just this action of smiling can actually make you feel better.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Or you can maybe jot down some notes. Write down what you want to say so you don't really feel like, oh no, what if I run out of things to say?
Yeah, so you're prepared.
Exactly.
So preparing is important too. Okay, these are some good tips. If you have telephobia, I hope these tips work for you.
That's right. Enjoy today's lesson.
Enjoy.
Does chatting on the phone give you the chills?
One thing that those with telephobia can do before a call is smile. It may sound silly, but smiling before doing something stressful can help you feel more relaxed. It won't eliminate the anxiety altogether, but it will take the edge off it.
Hello and welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
I'm Kim.
And today it's day 2 of Does Chatting on the Phone Give You the Chills? So if you're afraid or feel nervous when you talk on the phone, don't worry, because today in part 2, we'll have some good tips to help you relax.
Yes, we're going to give you some advice on how to deal with your telephobia.
I can talk on the phone. I'm not going to freak out. Everything's going to be okay.
It's going to be all right.
All right.
And let me tell you. Now, one thing that those with telephobia can do before a call is smile. It may sound silly, but smiling before doing something stressful can help you feel more relaxed.
I'm about to jump out of an airplane. I'm going to smile. Okay. I guess I could see that. It's hard to be angry or be, worried if you're smiling, I suppose.
Yes. Is it a real smile, though, or a...
Yeah, that's true. And of
depends.
course, it won't totally change your brain, but as we read, it won't eliminate the anxiety altogether, but it will take the edge off it. So there you go. Yes, you won't forget, I'm not nervous at all. No, you won't forget about being nervous, but when we take the edge off something, it's not quite as strong. It's not quite as powerful. It kind of makes it a little bit less. So that can help.
Yeah, and on the other side, though, there's eliminate. If you eliminate something, you totally and completely get rid of it. It doesn't exist anymore. For example, doctors hope that they can eliminate the disease in the near future. So in the future, no one will have this disease. It won't be a problem anymore. It has been eliminated.
It's gone, it's wiped out, it's been erased. So there you go. Smile a little bit. It won't eliminate your fear, but it'll help you relax, and even a little bit can be a very good thing. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back with more about fighting telephobia.
Hello， 大家好。
好，我是 Hanny。我们在第一天的课文读到，电话恐惧症是社交焦虑症的一种，它其实很类似上台前那种怯场的感觉。那今天的课文就是要提供几个小诀窍，也许可以帮忙稍微缓解这样的恐惧，让自己不会被讲电话给吓坏了。Mike 老师在开场的时候，他用到 freak out， 就是表达吓到、吓坏了的意思。其中这个 freak 是拼作 F-R-E-A-K。好，课文一开始就写到说，有电话恐惧症的人在打电话之前可以先微笑。这听起来好像有点蠢，可是呢，我们在做某件压力大的事情之前，微笑可以帮助我们放松。那虽然微笑不能帮忙完全消除焦虑，可是它可以减轻它的负面影响。先来看单字 eliminate， 它表示消除、根除。Mike 老师说的片语 wipe out 则是有这种摧毁、歼灭的意思。那这边还有一个重点哦，片语 take the edge off something 是表达减弱、削弱某事情的负面影响。举例来说 ，She had a snack to take the edge off her hunger。她吃一点点心，让自己不那么饿。好，接回到课文中。
Does chatting on the phone give you the chills?
Similarly, imagining how the call will go before you make it can also help things go more smoothly. Running through a positive conversation in your head will make you feel less nervous and may help you predict any possible problems. There's no need to spend hours on this, just a few minutes devising a general idea of what you want to say. You can even write down some brief notes to remind yourself of your talking points. This is particularly useful for tackling the fear of not being able to express yourself spontaneously.
So in our previous part, we learned how smiling, surprisingly, can reduce your fear of talking on the phone.
Yeah, takes the edge off your fear at least.
That's right.
Which can help.
Now, similarly, imagining how the call will go before you make it can also help things go more smoothly.
Visualizing, they call this.
Right.
Yeah.
Running through a positive conversation in your head will make you feel less nervous and may help you predict any possible problems. That makes me feel more secure.
Absolutely. I know athletes do this, right? They picture themselves making that perfect free throw or something like that, and then when they get out there, they don't feel nervous. They've done it 1,000 times in their head, so they feel a lot more comfortable. Well, you have this word predict is basically to kind of guess or to say what you think will happen in the future. It's not a total guess. You're basing it on, your experiences, the things that you know, but still, it's not something that's for sure. It's not something that's happened. It's in the future. So you're kind of saying, I think this is what's going to happen because this is what happened last time. Something like that. One thing that we always like to predict or have someone predict for us is the weather. If you open your phone and look at what the weather will be like tomorrow or on the weekend, or if you listen to that weatherman or the weather person on TV, they are predicting what the weather will be. They don't know, they can't travel into the future, but based on science and experience and knowledge, this is their best guess based on what's happened before. For example, Lawrence predicted that his favorite team would win the basketball game. Well, they're his favorite team.
Of course.
But maybe also because the team that they're playing aren't that good,
Yes.
or they have a really good player right now or something. But he's making a guess that that's the way it's going to go. All right, well, visualizing, thinking about what you're going to do is a very good idea. But as the article says, there's no need to spend hours on this. Just a few minutes devising a general idea of what you want to say. Yeah, you don't have to sit down the night before and write out the whole phone conversation.
Plan it out, the script.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to plan it out that much, but a few minutes can definitely help. And it gives you a tip. You can even write down some brief notes to remind yourself of your talking points.
Oh, good idea.
That's a really good idea because sometimes when we're nervous, we kind of forget about what we want to say. So writing it down will help you remember everything you want to say. So yeah, prepare a little bit, but you don't have to get ready a week before the phone call.
No, just devise the idea right before you make the phone call. Devise is to put together or think through a plan. So you can think about what happens if I say this, what happens if I do this, what should I do next? This is how you devise a plan, and then you can execute it. So for example, scientists have devised a new method to recycle plastic. They came up with a new way to recycle plastic things.
That's right.
Bottles, cans, what have you.
Yeah, it's kind of creating or inventing something. All right, and here we also had the verb to remind. To remind is basically to bring something back into your mind so that you don't forget it. All right, so maybe there's something important happening. If you forget it, it's going to be really bad and you don't want to forget it. So you might ask someone to remind you, say, hey, don't forget that thing. Or you might remind yourself by writing it down somewhere where you'll see it, or putting an alarm on your phone or something like that. But basically, when you remind someone or remind yourself, you're trying to avoid forgetting this thing because that would not be good. For example, Leslie reminded her sister that she has soccer practice in the afternoon. Maybe they moved the normal day for soccer practice from Friday to Tuesday. So Leslie said, hey, don't forget, we have soccer practice this afternoon. I just want to remind you. All right, so back to the article, it says this, writing down something to remind yourself and so you don't forget what you want to say. This is particularly useful for tackling the fear of not being able to express yourself spontaneously. Right, you're going to forget the important things,
right.
And you're afraid now that you're going to forget the important things, so you're even more afraid of the phone call. So all of this can basically just help you feel more prepared.
And conquer that anxiety or telephobia.
Exactly right, and have a great phone call. We're going to have a quick break, and then we'll be back with more about fighting telephobia.
好，第二个小诀窍是在打电话之前，先想象那通电话会怎么进行，会怎么发展。我们先在脑海里面快速练习一次正向的对话，就会让人不那么紧张，甚至可能可以帮助你来预测任何可能发生的问题，就可以让这事情进展更顺利了。好 ，predict 这个动词就表示预测、预言。那我们刚刚说，先在脑海里想象对话怎么进行。Mike 老师用到 visualize 这个字 ，visualize，visualize， 它表示想象或是使什么形象化、视觉化。那么课文接着提醒我们，你没有必要花几个小时在这件事情上，只要花个几分钟去想出你想说的事情它的大意就可以了，甚至也可以写下一些简短的笔记来提醒自己要说的重点。那这边有两个单字 devise， 它是指想出、策划或是发明，是个动词。Kim 老师说想出计划之后要去执行嘛，这时候老师用到 execute，execute 表示执行、实行。下一个单字 remind 也是动词，它是表达提醒或是使什么想起。那我们再来看两个重点，第一个是 there's no need to 加上原形动词，是表达没必要做某事。举例来说 ，There's no need to compare ourselves to other people。没必要拿我们自己来跟别人做比较。第二个重点是 spend， 它表示耗费、花费，像是花费时间啊、金钱等等。那我们要表达某人花费多少时间、金钱在什么什么上面，这个句型是 spend 加上受词加上动词 ing， 或是用 spend 加受词加上 on 加名词。那我们来造两个例句。Tim spent 4 hours building the doghouse. Tim 花了4个小时来打造那一间狗屋。Jessie spent a lot of money on shoes. Jessie 花很多钱在买鞋子。好，那么接着回到课文中。
Does chatting on the phone give you the chills?
And finally, when faced with receiving a call, you don't always have to pick up. There's nothing wrong with calling the person back later when you feel more comfortable. So the next time your phone starts ringing, remember, speaking on the phone doesn't have to make you sweat. The important thing is to be aware of your fear and take steps to deal with it.
So we've been discussing some ways that you can defeat your telephobia. when talking on the phone to calm your nerves and take the edge off.
Write down some things so you don't forget them. And visualize, kind of run through the conversation in your mind before you do it so that when you start, you already feel like, yeah, I've done this before. These are all good things. So finally, though, we have one more good bit of advice, don't we?
Yes, and finally, when faced with receiving a call, you don't always have to pick up. There's nothing wrong with calling the person back later when you feel more comfortable.
Well, that's a really good tip. Yeah, absolutely. When you're making the call, you have time to prepare. But if someone calls you and you're not feeling right or you're not feeling comfortable, maybe wait, call them back a little bit later or send them a message and say, sorry, I can't talk. Can you write the message? Or something like that.
Yeah.
It's true. You don't have to answer the phone if you don't want to. So, the next time your phone starts ringing, remember, speaking on the phone doesn't have to make you sweat. It doesn't have to make you feel nervous and uncomfortable. The important thing is to be aware of your fear and take steps to deal with it. And this is true for any kind of social phobia or any phobia in general. You know, be aware of your fear, be aware of this problem that you have, and then try to fix it or at least help yourself get through it doing some really sensible, smart things to do.
That's right. The most important thing you can do is be aware of or recognize your fear.
Yep.
To be aware is to know about something, be conscious of it, and know what's going on around you. If you're aware of your situation, you know what people are where, you know where you're going, you know what you're doing. You can also be aware of information. For example, I was not aware that you have a twin brother. I didn't know. So, what do you think? Have you ever had telephobia? What did you do about it? And if not, what can someone that has it do about it?
Interesting. I don't think I've ever had telephobia. I mean, there's been phone calls I've been nervous about making, but not because I'm calling on the phone. Maybe I have to give someone bad news or something like that. But I think with any kind of phobia, a lot of these tips are really good.
Yeah.
If you allow yourself to kind of think about it in a natural, healthy way, in a safe way, that's a good thing. So I would say I have never had it. I think that someone who has it should follow some of our tips and also, maybe let people know that they don't really like talking on the phone. Your family, your friends, other people, a lot of them might understand, I think.
That's a great idea. With today's ways to communicate, people don't have to call each other, and if you're not comfortable with it, you can ask people to text you.
Absolutely. It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Yes.
All right, guys, that's it for today. Enjoy your phone calls. Have them however you want. And yes, you probably won't have as many as people used to because we can text almost anything these days. We're just using emoji. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Until then, take care, be well, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
好，下一个诀窍是不一定每通电话都要接，人家打电话来的时候，对方已经有足够时间做好心理准备了嘛。可是我们要接听的人却没有，所以可以等到自己觉得比较自在的时候再回电，这并没有什么错哦。我们补充一下，文中的 comfortable 在这边是用来描述内心是舒服的、自在的。那它的相反词是在前面加上 un 变成 uncomfortable，uncomfortable 它就表示不自在的。好，课文最后写到。下一次电话开始响的时候呢，要记住讲电话并非一定会让人紧张，重要的是我们要去意识到自己的恐惧，然后去采取步骤来处理它。那这个原则我相信应该也适用大部分的恐惧。好，我们最后来看单字 aware。aware 它是形容词，形容知道的、意识到的、有注意到的。那么 take steps to 加上原形动词就可以用来表达采取步骤去做某事。好，那么以上是这个讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
What style of sunglasses are you looking for?
I like classic shades, but no reflective lenses. I can't stand those.
What about these? We just got them in. They're very fashionable.
These are awesome. It's too bad they aren't really in my price range.
What about these? They're similar and might fit your budget better.
I think I'll buy these.
See you next time.